Hello everyone, and welcome back to THWF Worldwide News. I'm your host and man who no longer has to put nearly as much effort into this show, Ike McEtheridge. And why do I not have to put nearly as much effort into this show? Because I got paid, y'all! Oh, yes. Cedric D. Lynham gave me a huge lump sum of cash, up front no less, for the exclusive rights to 500 more episodes of this show. And the joke's on him, because I don't plan on living that long. Do I look like the kind of man who takes care of his body? No, not at all. He's going to be lucky if he gets 20. This is his Lex Express, basically. No return on investment. But I already got the money, so what's he going to do? Actually, Lex Express might be a bit harsh, because that was a huge train wreck, or bus wreck. This is probably more like WCW, paying all that money to Bret Hart, not to use him. The only difference, of course, between me and Bret Hart is that my career will not be ended prematurely by an overly aggressive, overrated, angry, bald man. But more on Terry Davis later. That's called foreshadowing. I'm freshly back from a vacation in the Bahamas. Really needed it. Sunburned on my entire body, except for my face and my hands. Even the parts that you don't want to visualize. Actually, especially the parts that you don't want to visualize. And while contractually I can't reveal exactly how much money I got paid, I will say, here comes the money. Here we go. Money talks. Here comes the money. Money, 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 dollar, 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 dollar. Okay, but seriously, I need all of these. All these back. All these back. I need that one, please. No, put it down. I need it. No, Daddy likes to stunt on his haters, but Daddy also has expensive habits. So he needs all of this, all of that back, please. Thank you. Especially that one right there that's rolled up for no particular reason. Back to the news at hand. It was a few days ago that I personally broke the story that Odair Nunez-Shaw had defeated former Long Island champion Jonathan Tollin, and the video leaked not long thereafter. Now the video shows Odair walking into a New York City bar, having apparently just beaten Mortal Kombat's Kung Lao in a fight to the death and stealing his hat, I think. This would work better if I had a visual, but the green screen, we never got that. We got this nice graphic now, that's nice. But it would really work better if I had a side-by-side of like Kung Lao with his hat and Odair with his hat that he was wearing. But let's be honest here, this is a group of wrestling fans, and the Venn diagram of wrestling fan and Mortal Kombat fan, like that's just a fucking circle. You guys know what Kung Lao looks like. Don't play that game with me. Anyway, Odair challenged Jonathan to a dance-off, and Jonathan immediately forfeited, which was honestly in his best interest because that was going to end in a fatality. And as we all know, Kung Lao's fatality is he's got the razor-brimmed hat, and sometimes he even throws it down on the ground, and it's like a buzzsaw. It was going to be messy. That's what I'm saying. And also, this was a very savvy move by Odair because dancing ability is one of those things that everyone wants to have in life, but it's very difficult to monetize or capitalize upon in any way. It's almost as difficult as explaining to your significant other why you had to get several hundred ones from the bank without sounding like a lying bullshitter. Because in both of those scenarios, the most likely explanation involves strip clubs. And I don't know if Odair is qualified to be a stripper. Honestly, I don't know what he's packing. That's his business, not mine. I certainly didn't Google Guatemalan body stereotypes in research for this episode. You can't prove I did. Because every time I surf the web, I always do it incognito, and I clear my browser history afterwards. Now, that's smart. That's like wearing 2 condoms during sex. Ain't nothing getting through there. By the way, neither here nor there, you shouldn't wear 2 condoms during sex. It's actually less safe than if you just wore 1, because the latex rubs against the latex, and it's likely to rip. That's just honestly helpful information that you can take to the bank. And I don't want to criticize your life choices, but if you are feeling the need to double bag your meatloaf, maybe you shouldn't be sending your hound down that foxhole to begin with, because diseases are real, and you got to be safe out there. And your hand can be anyone you want it to be. Why, just last night, I had a threesome with Rihanna and Carrie Underwood, and it was magical because I was still sunburnt. So we looked like the sexiest bowl of Neapolitan ice cream you've ever seen in your life. I also want to take a moment right now to tell you that my O face has been described as me coughing, yawning, sneezing, and stubbing my toe on a coffee table all at once. So I'll pause now so you can visualize that. Are you visualizing it? Shame on you. Every time you visualize someone's O face, you're also visualizing every person's O face that they've visualized, I think. I didn't pay attention in sex ed class. That's why I think the G-Spot is a small cafe owned by 50 Cent and Lloyd Banks. Anyway, moving on. So O'Dare, he won the belt, but he was immediately flim-flammed, bamboozled, swerved, if you will, by a local Brooklyn resident and man who kind of looks like Ludacris, very slowly turning into the Incredible Hulk, Will Dennis, who super kicked O'Dare. Jesus, does everyone use the super kick now? Is that such an overused finish? I miss, like, can we just agree that HBK and the Young Bucks, like, they're the only ones allowed to use it from now on? I just feel like that would make wrestling better as a whole. Anyway, Will Dennis, he defeated O'Dare to become the first ever dead-ass champion. And by the way, that Ludacris turning into the Hulk joke, I thought long and hard about it. I don't know if I like it. It was either that, or I was going to refer to him as the forgotten fourth member of Run DMC, because he always wears that hat that gives me the Run DMC vibes. A lot of hat jokes in this video. That's not intentional. That's just happening organically. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. And whichever joke you prefer, pick that one, and we'll pretend that the other one doesn't exist. We'll treat this like a choose-your-own-adventure book. So you pick the joke you want, and you'll flip to the corresponding page. And now that I think about it, I guess since it's choose-your-own-adventure, one of the jokes should kill you if you pick the wrong one. Okay, think of the joke that you prefer. Okay, the Run DMC one. You die if you pick that one. So if you picked that one, I need you to stop the video. Don't finish watching it. You don't get to go to the end. Because life is all about consequences, and you've got to learn to live with them at a young age. Man, this is good nostalgia. I miss Choose Your Own Adventure. That was a lot of fun. I love those books. I have one with dinosaurs. And anyway, we're getting off topic. Anyway, so Will Dennis became the dead-ass champion, but he was immediately ambushed by like the 800th pretty heel that I've talked about in this video series, and the most confusingly named Crayola crayon of all, Ebony Green. Because I assume it would just be black. I mean, it would definitely be a dark green. It's not one of the 24 color box ones. It's like the big 64 color one that you got from your aunt for Christmas because she didn't know what to get you, but she remembers that you drew her a picture. And man, I need to call Aunt Anita. I haven't talked to her in a while. I hope she's doing good. Anyway, so Ebony Green, as of right now, she is your Pretty Hills champion, and we'll be keeping you up to date with updates as they come to us. But right now, I want to lighten the mood a little bit. Let's just take it down a notch. Hold on a second. Let me collect my thoughts. All right, Michael Etheridge, suck my dick. Oh, we took a hard left turn, didn't we? Yeah, listen here, boy. You want to run your mouth in the comments section of everything that I post, talking about how I'm chicken shit? And you know what? Here's the thing. You're chicken shit. Yeah, you live in the exact same town as me, and I've never even seen you. It's like every time I show up somewhere, you magically disappear. Oh, how convenient. And guess what? I'm going to let you know right where I'm going to be so that you can find me if you want to, all right? October 1st, Atlanta, Georgia, NWA TV tapings. I'm going to be there, and I'm not going to be hard to find because I'm really loud and obnoxious, and I stand out in a crowd. So why don't you come there, meet me, and we'll settle this like men. And in fact, Terry Davis, let's get back to you. Let's talk about that foreshadowing that I addressed earlier. So, why don't you come too? I want to make fun of you, but it's hard for me to because you're like the most nondescript human being I've ever seen in my life. You're like the generic creator wrestler number 5 on a WWE 2K game. Like no hair, no distinct features, no distinct dialogue options. All you ever talk in is like 4 different Drake gifts. Cena has more moves of doom than you have unique lines of dialogue. Think about that for a second. And go ahead, bring all your boys from Midwest too. Go ahead, bring Chris Bryant. I'm not scared of him, unless it turns out Tron was like a documentary, but I'm pretty sure it's not. 90% sure. We're gonna double check that. We're gonna see if Tron was a documentary. But you know what? Even if it is, that's cool, because that means that sci-fi rules are in effect, which means I'll just splice together Damian Sandow and Chris Jericho, and he'll pass out from all the blood rushing to the boner that he gets when he sees him. So that's going to take care of him. Bring David Harvey. I'll teach him how to hold his liquor like a man. bring Jamil Jackson, that's cool, and I'll bring a pillow and some blankets, because at his age, being passed out on the floor like that, that's not good for his back. He's got a family to think of. And you come too, Derry Davis. Just bring everyone with you to the NWA show. Bring Ice Cube, bring Eazy-E, bring, what now? Okay, I'm being told that I may have misunderstood what this NWA show is. Okay. But Eazy-E, he's still going to be there, right? What do you mean you can think of at least two problems with that question? You know what? Forget you. Terry Davis, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to have my boys with me too. Rico and Suave. And that's all I need. And we'll hash this out like men. How's that? Yeah. So I got to get up to stop the recording now. But I'm going to do it menacingly. This is the O-face I was describing earlier. This is the O-face.